Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the 50 heavy metal bands that you need to know. Hopefully over this past weekend you were able to scope out some of the bands from numbers 50 all the way down to number 21, or discovered something brand new that you didn't know before that now you really like. If you did, let me know about it in the comments below. I want to know what you were able to discover this past weekend and really how the series is going for you. It's time for us to talk about numbers 20 to number 11. These are all bands that you absolutely should check out here this holiday season and anytime that you can. So let's go ahead and get started with number 20. Number 20 is Ahab. Last year they had a massive album with the Boats of the Glencairn, which is based off of this novel right here by William Hodgson. Now these guys started off their career having a real obsession with Captain Ahab, which is where they get their name, and this is funeral doom that has a little bit of melody to it. It is really good stuff. Their album from last year, once again, The Boats of the Glencairn, is a massive masterpiece that absolutely needs to be scoped out, and if you can find the book, read along with it. It's definitely interesting. Number 19 is Obscure Sphinx. They had an album this year in 2016 entitled Epitaphs that's kind of a sleeper hit. It is a sludge/avant-garde product. We have female vocals that are very well done. There's a little bit of minimalism here and there that really gives this group a lot of character, a lot of uniqueness that really makes them sort of one of a kind within this department. You should scope these guys out. They're still kind of up and coming. They definitely demand your support. Number 18 is Dustbowl. We haven't talked a lot about thrash metal on this list, but there's a band that's definitely showcasing that thrash still has some new chops left. This is a European-based product, and their album from this year, Mass Confusion, definitely showed that thrash is not dead. It has a lot of life still left in the tank, and there are still plenty of young products that are coming out that are really delivering the goods. If you need yourself a thrash fix, give Dustbowl a listen. Number 17 is Oppenheimer. Their album Memento Mori is a terrific showcase of melodic death metal with a little bit of progressive tendency. These guys are based out of France and are absolutely fantastic. If you haven't gotten the opportunity to scope out this album as of yet, I highly recommend that you do it. The full album is down there in the description box below, alongside of links for each and every one of these bands on the list. You should scope it out. You should love it. These guys have the opportunity, really, within the next couple of years to rise into the pantheon of the new melodic death metal greats. Number 16, we have Cult the Ghoul. They just released an album about a month ago, or really just a few weeks ago, entitled Coven, or Evil Ways Instead of Love, that really plays very much like it was built for the stage. This is evil, this is black metal that has some progressive twists or some avant-garde twists. There's a lot of theatrics that go along here. If you thought that Danny Filth had the opportunity to be theatrical with some of his works, man, you haven't heard anything yet. This definitely builds a lot of atmosphere. These tracks are massive, but they are massively entertaining. They keep you engaged, and if you read along with the play itself, it is something that makes the experience just all the more complete. Cannot recommend these guys enough. Fantastic underground band that needs your support. Number 15 is Dark Fortress. They had an album a few years back called Venereal Dawn that was top 10 or top 15 worthy. They have an album from 2009, I believe, or 2010 entitled Elam, which was absolutely phenomenal. These guys started off as a pure black metal product that has definitely gotten a little bit of progressive thrown within there, a little bit of melody thrown within there. This is just terrific stuff from a band that is delivering really with every single thing that they have with each passing album. I'm hoping that they have something brand new coming in 2017 because I want more, and you probably will too once you check them out. Number 14 is Artillery. This is another thrash metal band. This one is a bit classic though. They started off in the 1980s. They took some time and were not a thing, and then came back. They have a brand new singer, and their album from 2016, Penalty by Perception, was one of the first albums that we talked about this year, and we definitely had to give it a lot of praise considering this is thrash that has a little bit of that updated 2016 mentality. This is thrash that certainly sounds a lot younger than the members of the band really are, and this is thrash that definitely has a nice scope on melody. Is it always the cleanest? No, it really isn't. Is thrash metal always, the cleanest? No, it really shouldn't be. Those bands that are doing it very cleanly are probably doing it wrong. Number 13, we have Tamina. Tamina has a massive new disc out, a huge work of progressive metal mastery entitled Venus that is Really just a tremendous effort. This is a young group based out of Australia. They have a lot of talent. They are screaming from the underground. We want to be, right there within the pantheon of greats. We want to have our name, cemented in alongside of the progressive metal giants, and they have the chops, they have the ability, they have everything in order to accomplish that. This group is poised to break out. Venus should be that disc. It really should have happened a couple years ago, but make it happen right now. Make Tamina famous. They're terrific. Scope out the link. These guys are, wow. Wow. Number 12, we have Terra, Tenebrosa. They had another big album here in 2016 entitled The Reverses, and these guys have avant-garde. They have a little bit of that, just strange sludge. There's some stuff that's on here that's very you can't categorize it. I'm trying to make up words in order to try to make up the fact that you can't categorize it, because you can't. These guys are very unique, and that's what gives them a lot of their benefits. And it's sort of based around the same idea that we've talked about in the past with the bands such as Inter Arma, where there is a big-time hybridization that takes place in order to give this a real unique property, and really shows that whenever that hybridization takes place within heavy metal, you really have the opportunity to expand your horizons and have so many different sounds sort of coalesce together in order to grant the listener something that has a very brand new feel to it, or at least something that is draped with enough unpredictability that you're not really too sure what happens next. This is sort of an unsung sleeper hit from this year that you definitely need to scope out, and then scope out their back catalog as well. And number 11 is a Neon. They just had a big album. I'm talking, this one's huge, that just dropped, entitled Hypnosophy, rather. And they have Hell Spirit Noir really thrown in within their own unique brand of avant-garde. These guys are Greek, just like Hell Spirit Noir. They have a lot of great things to offer. This is really what avant-garde black metal is all about, even though it doesn't really fit that traditional mold. I love the fact that this group just sort of plays by their own rules and kind of goes their own way. Imagine if a band that is traditionally seen as just, purely avant-garde, such as Giant Squid or even Model Into the Well, decided to go with a little bit more melody and opted to sort of, find a nice happy medium between all of that, and then just toss in some random strangeties in order to give it a lot of charm. I'm talking ass loads of charm. That's exactly what a Neon did with this album. That's exactly what they do with each one of their works. This is a young group that is screaming for attention, and you should give it to them. Scope them out. And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen, numbers 20 through 11 on the 50 heavy metal bands that you need to know list. I know there's a lot of stuff that's been on this list that have had albums here in 2016. That's because a lot of those old school bands that you might have expected to be on here are either known by individuals, either that, or those are the ones that are already in the mouths of those that are sort of doing that word-of-mouth transference from one individual to the next. We definitely want to push the new generation just as much as the old. So in the comments below, name a couple of older groups that definitely deserve the attention of all of the members of the Cover Killer Nation in case they haven't heard them already. Spread this around to all of your friends. That way, the heavy metal universe can be spread even further, and these new bands have the opportunity to be heard by a fresh audience. We will be returning very, very soon for numbers 10 to number 1 on this list, so you're definitely going to want to stick around. Subscribe if you haven't already. I'm Cover Killer Nation, and I'll talk to you guys next time. Thanks for watching. Hey guys, thanks again for checking out this video. If you want to see the entire list of the 50 heavy metal bands that you need to know, scope out the link to your left. The link to your right is going to take you to 2016 album reviews, which includes some of the members of this very list. You're going to want to check that out. You can also subscribe to this channel. Please do that. I would be so appreciative of that, as well as scope out the Patreon. I'm CKN, and I'll talk to you later.